Shalom, family. I'm so excited. I only speak the words of the Most High. I got a revelation today that I am so excited to share because God has been working with me on this one. And usually I take my glasses off so you don't see the reflection, but I got to read. I got some scriptures for y'all. So God gave me a word about widows in the Bible. And I was doing a study on alms, and I saw a lot of mention about widows and fatherless children, the widows and the fatherless. So I was like, what's up with that? What? Like, God mentions them a lot. I'm like, why so specifically does he ask the community to make sure they take care of the widows and the fatherless? And honestly, the revelation was even on that wave, but we just gonna put everything we got out there. Okay. So we're gonna start with some definitions. When you look up widow on Google, the definition of widow, it says a widow is a woman whose spouse or husband has died and who has not remarried. But if you go a little further, so after you read the definition, you go down to cultural and historical perspectives, and it says etymology, but I'm going to skip that one. What was really interesting was the relic. An archaic, I might be pronouncing that wrong, term occasionally seen on older gravestones as relic, meaning someone left behind. Someone left behind. Let's go a little further down. It says non-spousal usage. There's a non-spousal usage. The term widow is frequently adapted into everyday slang, and specifically in industries to describe someone left behind or ignored for extended periods. What I got from this, a widow is not just a woman whose spouse died. It could be a woman whose husband left her, whose provider left her, especially for extended periods of time. All the men who just don't provide provision, don't provide financially, don't provide with presence, with spiritual guidance, leaving for long periods of time, you are creating widows. Catch it, okay? This also says recreational activity widows, used to describe someone whose partner is frequently away, engaging in a consuming hobby, such as a golf widow or a video game widow. Okay, so let's move on to the concordance. You look up widow in the biblical concordance, and it describes it as a desolate place or a desolate palace. So I looked up desolate. Desolate primarily describes a place that is deserted. It is deserted of people, barren, or in a state of bleak emptiness. Abandoned. It means to lay waste or make someone deeply dejected. So I went a little further. First, I looked up widow in the Strong Concordance, which means desolate place or desolate palace. And then I looked up desolate in the Bible. And I looked up the Strong Concordance for that. It says to be desolate, be appalled, stunned, stupefied. To be desolate, be deflowered, be deserted. So I'm really just looking at this deserted part, left behind. It doesn't have to be a woman or a man that makes them a widow or a widower for their spouse to die. So let me show you how